Hello. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I'm Paul Gordon Manners. I'm a musician. Most of my work is created here in this valley in the Italian region of Romagna, or more precisely in the Rimini hinterland between the villages of Gemmano and Montefiore Conca. Gemmano is the one on that hilltop with the little white church, and Montefiore is the other one, opposite, with its castle built in the 1300s by the Malatesta barons. I've been living here for the last 20 years with my dogs, a few cats, and an incalculable number of wildlife, deer, squirrels, and porcupines, etc. You must be thinking, what a peaceful place. Well, it hasn't always been like this. Less than 70 years ago, all hell had broken out here. World War II had spread all over Europe, but it only reached here in its 5th year, in September 1944. Just 8 months later, Germany was to sign its unconditional surrender, but before that, Hitler was determined to sell his life dearly. Well, not exactly his, but more like everybody else's. So in order to delay the Nazi retreat, he sacrificed 50,000 of his own men and 60,000 of those who had come from all over the world to defend freedom in Italy. 19,000 were English, and more than 1,000 of these were killed just to liberate these two peaceful and picturesque villages. It was on that hilltop that the English made their headquarters, and on the opposite one that the Germans perched waiting. Thus, in between the two, in this beautiful valley, many English teenagers lost their lives. Like me, they had come to Italy, though, not to study music and culture or enjoy the wonderful sights, but rather to make that possible for me and all of us who followed, in peace and in freedom. I feel so grateful to them because I can wake up every morning and hear the birds singing peacefully outside my window. I've become thirsty to get to know them. I started by squeezing the fragile memories of the local elderly. I searched for books, documents, photographs, and eventually had the privilege of speaking to some of the veterans who actually took part and survived. They offered me many seemingly trivial details they remembered well, a glass of wine or a basket of fruit as a gift from an old lady. Tiny things, but to them they meant everything. They somehow meant that it was all worthwhile. It wasn't the haunting smell of blood or death they remembered, nor the agonizing screams of their wounded companions, but them laughing at jokes they told in a trench whilst feeding on some mysterious insipid substance from a tin can. These were the memories that counted, the ones that made it all worthwhile. I soon realized that these guardian angels of the memory and of our freedom would not be among us forever, and I had to do something to tell the world how beautiful I found them. I chose to use the language that I know best, music, and so this multimedia opera for guitar, voice, and orchestra was born. The sounds, the words, and the images tell a true story, the story of Tom, an ordinary soldier, but not ordinary to me. He really existed, and still does. Yes, here in this valley along with all the others. The finale suddenly throws us into today's world, and it ought to make us reflect automatically on how our values and the spirit with which we face life has changed compared to how the men and women in that period did. But if somehow it doesn't, and we don't ask ourselves how or even whether we consider their sacrifice, then it's all been in vain. The lady offering a glass of wine, Tom offering his life, all in vain. I hope you enjoy it. Hey little girl, where is your mummy? You're looking quite lost out here all alone. I'm sorry I don't speak your language too well, but let me just take you back where you belong. I've never been on a ship, and I don't fancy it. With this clobber, we're all bound to drown. It just takes one shot to let you know the holiday's over now. It's serious, the cherries are out to get you, and they don't play for fun. 3 Naples in your drive, so goes the saying, but I prefer to live a little bit more, to see some more. The people are very kind, they give vegetables and wine, and we put on outdoor cinema shows. We could actually watch the attack of the 5th Indian Brigade. We're fighting side by side with Gurkhas, Pakistanis, Polish, Brazilians, Greeks, Moroccans, and of course the Canadians and Americans. Even animals show us true wisdom. We see this cross-tempered sound. Keep on questioning why she's being kept here. We were really happy to get out of Iraq in spring that year. We crossed several different countries pretty quickly. Jordan, as we passed the Colosseum, we're like gladiators to the world. We lap up the wine and the roses and the kisses from unshackled girls. We talked, she practiced her English, and I the language of love. We only kissed to say adieu. I swore to come back